Mom and Dad had met at UCLA. Dad was a fun-loving kind of guy. He liked parties. He would go out and party. Mom became an accountant, very attractive woman, but very organized. And their personalities just didn't work. Dad had started a contracting business and was doing quite well, but they parted ways. And there were two boys. At the time, there were 7 and 5. Mom met a then major in the Marines who much more suited to her personality, and they moved up to Lake Tahoe. And for a latency age boy, the boy was 7, it was quite, worked well. But this personality was not so good for this boy when he became 15, 16, 17, 10 years later. And so he'd been going down to see his dad in Los Angeles, and his dad said, well, look, I'd like you to, the son said to his dad, I'd like you to come down, and I'd like to be with you, Dad, and I want to learn the business. And so Dad consulted his attorney, and the attorney told him this, which probably wasn't very good advice, and that is, look, you better not have him talk to Mom. But what you do is you get him a ticket on PSA. It shows you how long it is, because that airline is now defunct. And so you just give him, and then don't tell him to talk to Mom, but we'll bring you into court, and he will have voted with his feet. The court will look at this is he's of an age where he can make that decision. So that's what he did. He left a little note for Mom. Dear Mom, gone to live with Dad, love you, and gone down to Los Angeles. And the next 2 days later, they were in one of my first mediation cases. And the stepdad came along with the mom, and so we had Dad and his current spouse and the boy. And I talked to the boy, and it was very apparent that that's what he wanted to do, and that it was important, that
was live with Dad.
He lived with his dad. It was important for his development. And one of the things that was quite helpful was to help Mom understand that that was really a tribute to her, that he felt that it wasn't a slap in her face. It's just that was important for his development, and that he felt free enough to be able to make that change and do it with his dad. So I brought them all into this room. And I thought, oh my gosh, where's the door? Where's the bailiff? How am I going to get out of this? And,
what the heck am I doing?
What am I doing? And the dad said, I can still see this. Boy. And I thought, oh my gosh, what is he going to say? He said, I want to thank you for the great job you did in raising my son. And man, you can just feel it. Just like it's one of those moments in mediation where you just can feel the click. All of a sudden they didn't like each other still, but they were on the same boat. And none of that would ever happen in a courtroom. So we worked out the decision. One of the things that's really the beauty of mediation in these things is that there are other issues. It's not just the boy. What had also happened is the younger brother had lost a brother and was missing, and so we worked out an arrangement so that they would spend as much time together.
So, if I'm hearing you, then the great promise of mediation is that these kinds of matters would have that much greater a chance of being worked out by the parties and not in courts.
There are two things. One is the parties are involved in the solution, and the second is these are polycentric problems. That is, they're not just a single issue. There are a number of issues involved. And the court is set up to handle a single issue, and it's not, these are considered peripheral. It's not something coming before the court. And yet a mediation, you could deal with that because it was part of the total solution.